Well, we're down here in the greenhouse and we're going to have a look at what seeds we'll be sowing in July. Now, it's been a little bit funny around here with the weather. The sun's been out, it's been in, it's been raining, it's nice and dry. And to top it all off, today we've had winds. We've been up to about 30-40 miles an hour, so that's something to look forward to. And looking at the weather over the next couple of weeks, it's warmish. Maybe it's about 17-18 degrees centigrade, but it still looks very wet. There's a lot of rain forecast over the next couple of weeks, so who knows? I seem to remember, I'm sure it was like this last year in July. I'm sure July was a bit wonky weather-wise last year, and it ended up being very wet but very sunny. But we'll see. We'll see how things work out. We'll not worry too much about all that. But alas, it is time to get some seeds on the go. And when I say the thing always with these seeds, when I talk about what seeds have been grown in July, I'm not going to go and sow them all tomorrow. Some will be later in the month, some will be earlier in the month. But there's a couple I'll talk about where it is around about your last time to be getting some of these seeds on the go for this year. Well, for the UK weather anyway. And one of those is carrots. So now is around about the last sort of time for sowing carrots. Let me show you there. These ones here are a variety called Autumn King 2. They're a little bit hardier. You might be able to tell by the name, Autumn King. So if it does get a bit cold earlier on, if it gets a bit cool, then generally they'll do better than some of the other types of carrots that you might think about using in this sort of weather. And I think I might do these in the buckets. So the 30-litre buckets that we do for the potatoes, I might put some of the carrot seeds in there. And that way, if it does get a bit cold, if the carrots aren't looking great, I'm very fortunate to have the greenhouse in the polytunnel, but I can just lift and shift the bucket. So if it's going to be a bit cold, they haven't got grown as fast as they want them to, lift them up, pick them up, take them inside. Job's a good one. Next up, a little bit of successional sowing. So I've been harvesting stuff. If you've seen some of my videos recently, we've been getting loads of lettuce, and believe you me, there is a lot of lettuce. There's only so much lettuce I can eat, but I am harvesting it, so we need to get some more on the go. And I've got two different types, and the reason I've got two different types is because they kind of grow and you use them in two different ways. The first one here is a red tinged iceberg, so a lovely iceberg lettuce, and the leaves sort of have little red speckles on. And I thought, you know what, we're in the greenhouse today, I've already got some of these on the go. That's successional sowing. And let me show you these. Look, they've been attacked by something. Look at the state of them. I think there's been a slug or a snail. If I have a proper look at this tray underneath, there will very likely be a slug or a snail hiding under there that has eaten the red tinged lettuce. So alas, we are going to get some more of that on the go. But the thing with the lettuce like that, the iceberg one, is it's going to heart up. So it's not a pick and come again. You're not going to pick the leaves as it's growing. You're just going to let it grow to be one nice big lettuce and harvest the whole thing at once. And you know what I think they're great for? They're great for giving to friends and family and other people. So if you want to give somebody some produce, not just a few loose leaves, a whole lettuce is a beautiful thing to give somebody. But speaking of cutting and coming again, I've got another variety here. And this one here is called Valmain. If I move my finger out the way the name there. And this is a cut and come again. I've got a couple on the go in the bed down there. They're a little bit slow actually, a little bit slow off the mark. They took a little bit to get going, but once they're going, there's loads of leaves on them to pick. And speaking of Valmain, here's one I made earlier that hasn't quite been attacked as bad as the slugs and snails. There's only what 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, and we'll get them out soon. But then, obviously, once they're out, I'm thinking about getting more stuff on the go. So even though they are cut and come again, they will eventually run out, so they'll need to be replaced. So hopefully, in a month or two's time, when these ones have germinated and they're grown, they're decent size, they'll come out, they'll go in, and we'll do a bit of rinse and repeat. Next up, I'm going to try some silver skin onions. Now, I've tried these before. I haven't had too much success with them, but I'm starting to think, I know we're in July, and I know it's nice and sunny-ish at the moment, but it is summer. But we need to start thinking about the winter. And I was thinking, look, if I grow some of these now, if I can get a decent crop, because I've got a spare bed up the allotment, fill a spare bed, silver skin onions, and get them pickled. So the silver skin are the usual traditional ones you see when you get pickled onions in the shops. That's generally what they are. And I thought, you know what, grow a whole load of them, like I do with the beetroot, get them pickled, store them over the winter, or use them over the winter if you ever have salads or anything like that over the winter, and you've got your own freshly grown onions ready to use. So we'll be giving them a try. Next up, we've got some Savoy cabbage. I think this is probably about the last for sowing these as well. We're getting pretty late for sowing cabbage, but this cabbage, remember, this won't be ready till next year, so it's a type of spring cabbage, so we get it on the go now, get lovely little strong plants for going out into that cold weather, the hardy wee souls of Savoy cabbage. Hopefully they'll grow really well over the winter, and then I would say early-ish next year, but I'm quite late sowing these seeds. Like I say, this is about as late as you want to be sowing them, so I think we'll be into early-ish to mid-springtime before we're harvesting any of them. We'll see. All depends on the weather, how things grow and whatnot. Next up, some more successional sowing, and we've got my favourite type of kohlrabi here, and this is a Cossack F1. I do a lot of successional sowing of these. I've only got one bed with it, but it grows beautifully. Honestly, there's some varieties that I just go on about all the time, like the Katana spring onions. If I could, they're grown over here. I don't know if you can quite, in the side of the lettuces there, the Katana spring onions grown away there. They are marvellous. The varieties are brilliant. And Cossack F1 is a brilliant kohlrabi. It's a green one. It's not the purple one. It's the green one. But it grows. It can grow big. It doesn't go woody. It doesn't go chewy. It doesn't go all horrible texture. It is lovely. Obviously, the younger you pick it, the better it tastes, the better the texture. If you happen to forget about it, if you don't pick it on time, not the end of the world. This one's a trooper. It survives. It'll not go all horrible and woody on you. Next up, we've got some turnip, and I can't remember the name. It is Sweet Bell F1, and it's again, turnip and kohlrabi is something that I use quite similar. So the two of them, they're not a million miles apart in terms of texture and flavour. The way they grow is slightly different, but I'll use them in two different ways. One is either you boil it, you mash it, you have it with other stuff, but haggis, nips and tatties, why not, on the go? But the other thing I like to do is I like the flavour of raw turnip, and I like the flavour of kohlrabi. Some people do, some people don't. Slice it really, really thinly, mix it in with all your salad leaves, your cucumbers, your spring onions and all that you've grown, and it is absolutely delicious. Anyway, that's some of the seeds I'm going to be sowing this month. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, folks.